Hey all, it's Eric with Cruising with Cheryl and Eric coming at you once again. This is Cheryl and I'm Eric. You sure?
You're the one that said it.
So tonight we're going to talk about what to do on disembarkation day or debarkation day, or as I like to call it, the crappiest day of the vacation, to make that day as smooth as possible. Came up with a list of, I don't know, a dozen or so items that we feel kind of makes it, go smoother, and make sure you don't forget anything. And, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so starting out the night before. So, say your cruise is a Saturday, and, it's Friday, give or take dinner time, and you start thinking, oh no, I got to get off this cruise ship tomorrow morning. So here's some things that you can do that night before that, that will make it
More simple.
easier, more simple. Okay.
Simplify.
So you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I'll start because you've already been talking for 5 minutes.
It's only been a minute and a half, but okay.
Okay.
Exaggerate much?
I do.
Yes.
So first of all, you really want to confirm your disembarkation, the time that you're going to leave the ship. Get your and your luggage tag. That will give you the area in which you're going to be going to the next morning. Of course, you don't have to worry about a luggage tag if you are taking your own bags off the ship.
So we mention it this way because some ships, they have like a board that you have to go to and choose, your luggage tag, choose your the time you get off the ship. Some ships, some cruise lines, they slip that information under your door and you kind of take what they give you. Each cruise line's a little bit different how they handle that. And that last day, that information will be given to you as to, whether you have to go to a board, or it gets sent to you. Most of them give it to you, but yeah, so there's that. Your favorite part?
Well, it's kind of my favorite part, but not my favorite part because pack your suitcase except for your carry-on luggage. But
okay, this is just a video. We're not actually on the ship, so don't start crying again.
In my defense, I technically don't completely unpack.
Yeah, that's true. She doesn't.
Because I overpack, so I don't completely unpack. So I always have options. But anyway, pack your suitcases except for the carry-on, any medications, things like that you're going to put in your carry-on. If you're stopping back at a hotel, whatever the case may be. Any important paperwork, of course, having your carry-on or on your person.
Next up, once you're packed, usually the cruise line will tell you what time, but give or take 8 or 9 p.m., if you're gonna, if you're gonna let them take your luggage off the ship, you have to have it out in the hallway next to your door by a certain time. Make sure you get it out there by that time. We usually do that
right before dinner.
Well, actually, the Virgin was like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Royal, a lot of times it's like 8 or 9 p.m. So each one's different, but they'll let you know what time.
They will.
Just make sure it's out there in the hallway by that time. Honestly, a lot of times what we do is in the afternoon, we'll come back to the room and we'll prep all this stuff. And as we leave to go to dinner, we put our luggage out there because we don't want to have to come back to the room after dinner to put it out and then go enjoy the rest of our evening. We put it out before we go to dinner. Some people choose, well, that's true. Some people choose to carry their luggage off themselves, and that's totally up to you. I'm not, saying you can or can't. Pretty much every cruise ship I've been on allows you that option to carry the suitcases off yourself.
Yes.
We just prefer, scratch that, I prefer to not have to lug those suitcases any more than I absolutely have to, because like it was said earlier, certain people overpack their suitcase and mine. So yeah, they get kind of heavy.
I do have to say in my defense though, because he is referring to me. They're on wheels for a reason. Okay, just saying.
Anyway, next up.
So before you put your suitcase out in the hallway, make sure that we're going to go back to the point that I made before with the carry-on.
It's important.
We're going to drill it into you people. Organize travel documents, custom forms, anything else that you might need. Again, medication. Girls, if you're
Your
in Jamaica,
passport,
Yeah.
No, this is not about makeup. This is about documents, important documents. Okay.
I was going back to the carry-on point.
We're not talking about that.
Important documents and custom forms, passport, birth certificates, whatever you have
Airplane
with you.
boarding passes, any of that stuff.
Credit
Make
cards,
sure. Right.
whatever, your driver's license.
Don't pack that in your suitcase because you're going to need it to get off the ship. Okay.
Unless you're taking the suitcase off yourself.
Last one we're going to talk about for the night before. And this is, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but if you had a good time on the cruise, you want to book another one, go down to the next cruise office or wherever they have it and book that next cruise before you get off the ship, because usually they give you some sort of a deal or a promo if you book while you're still on board. Sometimes it's just a matter of extra onboard credit. Sometimes it's a matter of some significant savings. Kind of depends on what they're offering at that point. But if you had a good time, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
And then
you can always put a deposit down too.
Well, yeah, if you have to put a deposit down. If you book one, you don't have to book a particular sailing, to get the deals. You can do just a future cruise credit kind of thing where, okay, here's a $200 deposit. It's usually like $100 a person. And they guarantee you certain onboard credits, certain promotions, things like that. Now, once all that's said and done, go out and enjoy your last night. Go see a show, go to the casino, go hear some music, go dancing, do whatever you want. Next morning when you get up,
you want to enjoy your last breakfast on board and say farewell to any dining staff that you may have encountered the entire time you were on the ship. Make it pleasing.
Yeah.
A lot of the staff members build a rapport with their customers, and okay, you might not keep in touch with them, but you may see them on a ship another time. So just
well, and you just spent 7 days with them, and
they basically took care of you,
right.
Whether it be on the pool deck or in the main dining room, in a bar, whatever the case may be. But
if you feel the desire, give them a tip. We actually do all of our tips, our final tips on the last night of the cruise, because a lot of times in the morning, like our dining room staff, we don't know if we're going to see them the next morning in the main dining room or the buffet or in Central Park if we're on a Royal Oasis class ship. We don't know if we're going to see them that morning, so we want to make sure that we take care of them. So we give them that tip at our last meal, or if it's the room steward, we make sure we leave them money in the room, things like that. So next tip, you want to read it? You want me to? You want to go? You're much better at this, so.
I'm a nut in many ways in one, but anyway.
In this particular area.
Well, yeah. Making sure that you have everything out of the room. So if you're in a one-bedroom cabin,
yes,
which we usually are, I check the bathroom like 4 or 5 times. I also check the cabinets.
Check all the storage areas. Check under the bed. Right.
Everything. I don't want to leave anything behind because I most likely won't get it back.
Right. Well, and think about it. Charging cables for your phones. Okay.
They're replaceable.
They're replaceable, but it's a pain in the butt, and but you tend to leave them behind, because you don't think about it, or you don't see them, or they slip under the pillow or whatever. So make sure you do, after you get up and you get showered and you do all your makeup and your hair and all that stuff.
I don't do that when we leave the ship, by the way.
I do. So
yeah, but he does my hair and makeup.
Do that last sweep. Each of you do that last sweep. Just make sure you go through everything. Don't forget the room safe. Lots of people leave stuff in the room safe. Don't do it. Check it twice. Check it 3 times.
We're making a list and checking it twice, people. Okay. Yes. Ha! Anyway, next on the agenda is to pick up any photos, souvenirs, or purchases that you may have made on board, i.e. alcohol. They will not allow you to take the alcohol that you purchase.
A lot of
during the
times you can
cruise.
get it that last night also.
Yes.
But this is, just a point to make sure that
You don't forget it.
Right.
Pictures.
Yeah.
If
We found out the hard way. Yeah. My sister had purchased a photo.
She left it on the ship, though.
Well, the point being, if you don't pick them up, in this case, my sister did pick it up, but left it, I think, in the buffet when we were eating breakfast,
or
left it
or
somewhere.
Something. She left it on the ship.
And once the passengers are off that ship, those photos go away. They
SOL.
They're we called multiple people multiple times, and basically, there was no way to get them back. So, make sure, pick up any souvenirs, any alcohol, any tobacco, any pictures that you bought. If you didn't get them the night before, make sure you make a stop. One more that I want to add, because it just popped into my head and I don't think it's on the list. You want to do this the night before, not the morning of. Check your bill. There's a word for it. Your account, whatever you want to call it, either in the app or on the TV.
Your room charges, whatever.
Right. Make sure that it's in line with what you were thinking it is. Because if you have a credit card, on the room, they're going to charge that. The morning you get off the ship. So the night before, you want to look through that and make sure that they didn't inadvertently charge you for something that didn't belong to you or whatever. And
it's never happened to us, excuse me.
Yes, you're correct. It has
happened to other people.
So check it the night before. That way you have time to go to guest services and get it straightened out. Because the morning guest services line is going to be wrapping all the way around the deck. And I don't know about you, but I would hate to have my last experience on that ship that you had so much fun on be an hour standing in line.
It's like a conga.
Right. All right. Sorry, I just wanted to add that in. Next up.
Woo. If you see the crew members that you've enjoyed over the week that you were on the ship, or however long you were on the ship, make sure that you say goodbye to them. Usually there's a line. The last couple of ships that we were leaving, there was a line of staff members that said goodbye as you were leaving the ship, and it is just nice. So you don't have to go tracking them down, knocking on their door, but just if you see them, make sure that you
you say goodbye.
Or we'll see you later. Another thing you may want to do is some more memories is to take pictures of the ship so that you can remember the different areas. If you need to talk to somebody about it or anything else like that, you have them. Yeah.
Also, I have all the greatest intentions in the world of taking pictures, taking selfies, and taking pictures of all the different areas of the ship throughout the cruise. Well, that doesn't always happen. Mm-mm. So that last morning, we tend to walk around at the very least, the pool deck, the promenade, the main deck, the casino, like the areas that we spent the most time in, and make sure that we've got photos of, selfies of us in the casino, a photo with the bartender in the casino that took care of us so well, things like that.
Or a picture of that ring in the jewelry store window
that I refused to buy for her.
Wink, wink.
All right. And then once all that fun stuff is done,
yes,
then you're going to head to whatever the location is that you're supposed to wait for the disembarkation. So a lot of times it's a lounge, it's the theater. You sometimes they let you wait in the buffet. Whatever the information you received says, go there. We try to get there no more than maybe 15 minutes, maybe a half hour before that time, because I don't want to spend the last hour sitting in a lounge waiting for them to call,
Group 5
or Group C32,
Bingo.
And honestly, a lot of times they're going to announce that over the loudspeaker anyway, so you're going to hear it. And now a lot of times we drive to and from a cruise, so we don't want to be the first ones off the ship. So if we have a choice, we'll get as late of a disembarkation time as possible.
I think like 10 o'clock was the latest that we got off
No,
the ship.
9 something was the latest. 10 o'clock, they want everybody, like that's like last call type of
Oh.
thing. They're doing head counts to make sure everybody's off the ship because they got to turn everything in. People
Right.
start getting back on board at
And
like
especially
11,
back to
11:30.
back, or,
So,
whatever.
yeah.
But please
So,
make
yeah.
sure you follow the cruise instructions and listen to the process. There's a reason why they have loudspeakers. And, just be patient with those people. And I don't mean to say those people. Be patient with the people that are taking the luggage off themselves.
And the people that
I'm very
common
impatient,
sense
by the way.
has escaped them.
Yeah.
And, they can't tell the difference between group 5 and group 23. So even though their tag says 23, they decide they need to be part of group 5. So, they give them a little grace, give them, have a little patience, especially like, okay, if you've got a 9 a.m. flight that you got to catch, you should have been the first person off the ship.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Carrying your own luggage, like literally at 6 a.m. waiting there for them to hook up the thing that allows you to get off. Okay. So if you're not in that much of a rush, give them a little grace, stand back, let the people that, are Karens do their Karen thing, and I don't mean people named Karen. I mean that attitude that, they're
The
holier
righteous
than.
attitude.
Yeah. So,
Anyway.
yes, enough beating
Then
that
you're
dead
going
horse.
to, once you get off the ship, you're going to retrieve your luggage from the terminal if you did not bring it off yourself.
Right.
The process, in my opinion, is very smooth. I think it's actually depending on where we get off.
Yeah, it depends on which port, which
Like, 'cause
terminal.
Miami and Lauderdale can be pretty hectic because there are just so many.
Right.
But Canaveral was amazing. We've had great experiences.
Yeah.
So that's,
Well, and that's also another reason why we like to get off the ship later is there's less bags left,
Yes.
and it's easier to find ours. So,
so you're going to want to go through, follow these steps to go through the immigration procedure smoothly. Make sure that you have your passport ready.
exactly. Yeah. Have it in your hand.
I want to say something. He gets annoyed when I interrupt him.
But I'm allowed to do it.
Interrupting Cal. Anywho,
Yeah, have that paperwork.
have the
ready.
paperwork ready. If you purchase something that, exceeded the limit, show the paperwork. Just don't get everybody in trouble for that.
Head out the doors. Next up, head out the doors. Find your transportation, depending upon if you're going to a hotel, you're going to, for like a post-cruise stay, you're going to the airport.
But when you get out of the terminal, don't just stop.
Oh, yeah, please.
You really,
Yes.
security is there for a reason. It causes a backup. Just try to disperse. And
Yeah,
not
don't
stand by the
take
door.
2 steps out of the door and just stop and start looking around.
Yeah, don't
Walk to the left, walk to the right, walk 30 feet out so that the people
do the
behind
hokey pokey.
you, and turn yourself around.
Oh, no.
All right,
Okay,
stop.
not me. Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, find that transportation. Hopefully, whoever you arrange that with told you where to go or what to look for. So you can walk out, find it, and get on your way.
Yes. You want to provide feedback to the cruise line via the survey that they
pretty
send
much
to you.
all send you surveys
Yes.
now. Yeah, how was your stay?
Also, your travel agent. If you had a travel agent book it and they ask you for a survey, just fill it out. And if there was an issue, flight delays, a transfer didn't work out, not the travel agent's fault, but it's nice to let them know that you had that experience. They can't do anything about the weather, flight delays. Yeah. Anywho.
Those feedbacks, those cruise line feedback survey,
Wow.
What am I trying to say?
Feedback surveys.
Thank you. If you had great experiences with crew members, call them out by name, because they get raises, they get kudos,
Awards.
they get awards, they get extra time off, they get if they get called out by name in these surveys for doing good things, that does come back to them, and they get recognized for it. So.
Yes.
Now on the flip side, if you had a staff member that was particularly unhelpful or rude, call them out by name too, so they can get trained better and or unfortunately dismissed. Because not that I want to see people get fired, but I don't want to see a cruise line get a bad or a cruise ship get a bad name because there's a bad egg. So
That would smell.
that would smell really bad.
Yes. Next up, last but not least, is to relax and reminisce about all the great cruise memories that you've made. Whether it be family, whether it be you and your husband, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, just reminisce. And hopefully you look forward to another cruise.
We kind of have a tradition in our family, in that when somebody goes on a trip, whether it be, the two of us or my mom or my sister or my kids, within like a week of them coming back, we always get together for a meal to hear all about it, to hear all the great experiences and the not so great and what you liked, what you didn't like. And it's always fun, at least in my mind, it's always fun to share those memories with your loved ones.
And it's also interesting that everybody remembers things differently.
Yep. We're on the same ship. We're doing the same things together 95% of the time. But Cheryl remembers this and I don't, and I remember that and she doesn't. It's very interesting.
Yes. Yes.
Any last comments or concerns?
No.
Anything else to do to make Disembarkation Day go smoothly that we didn't cover?
Don't get off the ship.
Don't get off. There you go. That's the best one of all.
Ship.
Don't get off the ship.
Yeah, you said don't get off. Anyway, dirty minds, whatever. You can go.
Anywho, this is not a rated R channel, so.
It is now. Anyway, that's all
it.
for tonight. Have a great one.
Take care.
Bye.